getting our asses railed. 4th of July. Right around the corner. Actually, best time to talk about it. Just getting destroyed. Guess who shows up in flip-flops and swimming trunks and half buzzed off his ass? Scott Maffei, ladies and gentlemen. So, things like that.
And I worked the line. I jumped on the line and worked the line.
You didn't work the line. You know what you did? You got in the way. You got in the way of the people trying to
So what have I done in your
line.
nightmares?
So we'll just, real life events. You wish you could know. Things like that, but worse. Just exasperated.
I don't believe it.
Just things like that. Like I said, okay, well.
I don't understand why I'm such an asshole in everybody's dreams. Chris, have you ever had
You didn't have to finish the last part of that. You could say, I just don't understand why I'm such an asshole.
Wow. You're being ruthless this evening. Chris, have I ever been an asshole in one of your dreams?
I can't repeat some of the things that you've done to me physically and mentally in my dreams, Scott. I feel like it would fracture our friendship.
He wishes he knew how to quit you.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted #1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Twitter, the MySpace, the Instagram, the Bumble, the Tinder, the Grindr, Snapchat, all that good stuff. All of our links are the ones that exist are on our website. That's nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our sweet merchandise and also join our clubhouse where you can be a friend with benefits. That's our Patreon. Please, very important, vote for us at Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables Best Local Podcast. That's vote.orlandoweekly.com. Voting goes till like August 1st or something, so you got a couple weeks. So please help us out. My name is Scott. I'm the host. With me, as always, I'm an architect for her pain. Not only is she the queen of the Sunrail, she is the queen of quarantine. My co-host, Mary. And our other co-host. Not only is he a LinkedIn expert, but he is our scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Oh, God. What's
Brokeback Mountain. I know that one. Speaking of Grindr.
I nailed that accent, too.
You did.
Yeah, that
you
was
did
pretty
a great
good.
job.
I was nervous about that.
Isn't a grinder like kind of like an Italian delicacy? Isn't it? A grinder,
in some
like
cultures,
yes. In some cultures. Only on certain days. Anyways, what's shaking, guys?
Not much.
Sorry.
Mary, if you could just do me a favor, hold that microphone because
I was putting my hair in a ponytail. God, give me a break, Scott. Thank you.
I understand it. I get you.
He understands. Scott would never know our plight. No offense.
Yeah. Speaking of plight, so myself,
good segue, wonderful segue.
Myself, like many other American men, thanks to the Supreme Court's decision, are now going to Costco by ourselves for a couple of weeks, maybe longer. And it made me think of something. So, Chris, have you ever run into this with Emily where Emily's got a bad dream? Emily has a bad dream where you misbehave in the dream. I know that this has happened to me where I've misbehaved in a dream and now Rachel holds it against me. And it's like an all-day thing. Have you ever experienced that?
That happens on her end, yes. But not horribly. Like, she'll wake up and she'll just be super insecure for a little bit. Be like, are you sure you still love me? Like, are you sure? Are you sure? You didn't seem like that in my dream. But you know what? You know what is worse than that is when I have a dream, and I've had this like nightmare reoccurring where I have a memory of cheating on Emily, and it's like, and then I wake up, I was like, oh my gosh, and I feel so guilty, and then I feel really bad about it, and then I realize it was just a nightmare. But I hold myself accountable, and I punish myself. So it happens both ways. Yeah, because I am a feminist, so when I wake up from a nightmare like that, I punish myself.
Well, good for you. I definitely suffer for an entire day for whatever my dream self has done in the dream. whether it's letting Rachel set up for a party by herself or whatever, as little or as big as it possibly could be, I get held accountable for this. And it to the point where she's like, you were a jerk, blah, blah, blah. Like, you called me a name or whatever. Like, it gets held against me all freaking day. Mary, has Mike ever misbehaved in a dream?
Oh, I love that you're just like limiting it to Mike. All of you have. You're all accountable for some mishap or something terrible you've done in a dream of mine. Like, but always something quirky though, really bad. Like, so Chris, often you become more of this like Cheshire Cat type of character in dreams. So like, I wouldn't say I hold you accountable for anything because it's light and breezy. Scott, on the other hand, you're lucky that I don't come and like, I will seek you out and murder you. Like, I have a specific set of skills, and I'll do it. But I think that it's really sweet that you limit that to spouses, because it's not just spouses. Like, I'll have dreams that random people have, just done something awful. And, but I think that it's really interesting that you tie it to such a large, bigger picture issue, because you're worried that that's what's going to keep you from getting some. That's not it, my dude. That's not it.
So, Mary, you brought up something, and I've got to follow back up. Okay, so you said we can't limit it to just spouses misbehaving in dreams and things being held against them, but you said me. What have I done to you in your dreams that I've been held accountable?
So many things. Okay, Scott, it's not even dreams. Okay, let's just take real life situations and you think about what the dreams or nightmares that would come from it. Picture it. Sanford Smoky Bones. I would say 2016, 15? Maybe?
Okay.
16?
Yeah.
17? I don't know. Getting our asses railed 4th of July. Right around the corner. Actually, best time to talk about it. Just getting destroyed. Guess who shows up in flip-flops and swimming trunks and half buzzed off his ass? Scott Maffei, ladies and gentlemen. So, things like that.
And I worked the line. I jumped on the line and worked the line.
You didn't work the line. You know what you did? You got in the way. You got in the way of the people trying to
So what have I done in your
line.
nightmares?
So we'll just, real life events. You wish you could know. Things like that, but worse. Just exasperated.
I don't believe it.
Just things like that. Like I said, okay, well,
I don't understand why I'm such an asshole in everybody's dreams. Chris, have you ever had
you didn't have to finish the last part of that. You could say, I just don't understand why I'm such an asshole.
Wow. You're being ruthless this evening. Chris, have I ever been an asshole in one of your dreams?
I can't repeat some of the things that you've done to me phically and mentally in my dreams, Scott. I feel like it would fracture our friendship.
He wishes he knew how to quit you.
It's not something I'd like to talk about on the podcast, though. It's not something any of these audience members deserve to hear.
Well, it sucks because anytime that Rachel misbehaves in a nightmare, yes, I will wake up feeling a certain way, and it kind of makes me sad and whatever. But then I'm okay. I'm like, it was just a bad dream and all that, and she's super supportive, whatever, blah blah blah. And I try the same thing, and she's like, "No, get away from me!" And I literally have to suffer the rest of the day, or maybe it's just an excuse to be mad at me. I don't know.
But what types of things? What are the sins that you commit?
You name it, I've done it. I've let her in a dream. I've let her plan a party without me. I've let a birthday party. Mm-hmm.
Has that ever happened? Has that ever happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Keep going. So, she's just maybe these are memories unlocked.
Well, that particular one, yes, but there's other ones that are definitely not. Like, I've gotten back together with an ex, which would never happen. Or I left her for an ex, or I left her for someone, like just things that would never happen. That now I am public enemy. Well, not even public enemy, like Rachel enemy number 1 for the rest of the day. Like it
makes a public enemy,
right? Like I'll try to hug her and she pushes me away.
Because I'll kick your ass too.
We ride at dawn.
We ride at dawn. We do.
Mary has
yeah, man.
Has Mike ever held anything, like, have you misbehaved in a dream and Mike comes at you?
Not in any way that I was in trouble for.
Well, that's good.
That I know of.
Okay.
Yeah, not typically. I mean, honestly, like, what do I do wrong? What could I possibly?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I also think that maybe he doesn't dream. He doesn't get hangovers. He's a day walker, man. You know, it's like in between a ginger and like, he has no soul still. So I don't even know if he actually has dreams. I'll have to ask him. What? I mean, it works out for me. I'm not in trouble in the morning. I'm sure I'd probably do some real messed up stuff, but not yet that I know of.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Chris, I don't believe that Emily would ever. She couldn't.
No, she doesn't get mad. She just gets super sad. I'm like, listen, you gotta.
No, I mean, has she ever made you mad in a dream? She couldn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, just last night, actually.
Oh, please tell.
The best man.
What could she? Pray tell. What could she have?
The best man at my wedding, who currently has COVID, who had COVID in my dream, was doing some celebrity boxing match, and he was boxing in the dream in New York. And
like celebrity death match?
I guess so. It was a very strange dream. I overslept because it was a morning boxing match, and Emily and my sister went up to New York to go to the fight. Didn't even tell me they were going. I woke up so pissed off at Emily. It's like, why would you go to that fight without me? And also, you know that he has COVID, right? And you were in the same, like, you want to talk to him. He has COVID. We're going on a cruise this week. Why would you do that? So, yeah, I was pretty livid this morning. It was a very, very strange reason. Yeah, but that's how my dreams go usually. I have very vivid dreams. Do you guys have vivid dreams?
Oh yeah, very vivid.
Yeah, they scare me.
I love the dreams that I go to Costco.
For me, are the ones. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sure Rachel does too when she has to change the friggin' sheets later. It's not fun. Clean up aisle 9. It's a big one. Lord. Wholesale. Okay, no. Mine are fine until one of my children somehow, like, it turns into a lucid dream to where I'm starting to wake up, but then what's happening in, my surroundings is starting to incorporate into my dream. So, but it happens and it's so frightening because there's always a child standing over me when I wake up. And, like, they're lucky they don't get punted through a freaking window. They are, man. Woo! But usually, I think they've learned, like, they don't stand or tower over me now. They come and kneel at the bedside, which is nice because it's not as intimidating for me. And also, I don't have enough reach and enough, angle to get a good punting kick on them. So it works out. Still frightening. It's fine. Oh, this is fine. But like I said, I don't know if you guys have been watching that show, Midnight Mass, on Netflix, but I'm sure my dreams tonight will be great because I binged that entire season between yesterday and today.
Oh, nice. I just discovered Ted Lasso.
Oh, it's great on Apple TV.
Yep.
I only watched, I think, 2 episodes, but it's nice. Maybe I'll start watching it again.
I binge watched my part 1 and part 2 of my favorite guilty pleasure movie, Princess Diaries 1 and 2. And I can't wait to when Diz His does that episode, because I've begged both Chris and Joe. I was like, when you do Princess Diaries, you gotta let me come on because I've got so much to talk about. Like the lack of, they must have like fired their casting agent or their casting director in between movies because they just casted the same actors and actresses to play different roles. Like,
I didn't know that.
In the first one, the kid that's playing baseball that's on a cell phone when she finally hits it also plays Lionel, the security intern in the second one.
Okay, but who knows that
That is
part?
crazy.
Well, me.
Who knows that much?
Me. And then like one.
Okay, you know what characters I know? Mia Thermopolis. That's the character I know. That's about the extent of it.
But also, this is very exciting. Never realized this. But Princess Diaries, Mia Mignonette Thermopolis Rinaldi III is in the MCU.
I'm trying to think who it is.
Well, Princess Mia
Unless
is
it's
in the
Static Strange,
MCU.
I don't care.
No, I get that. I get that the actress is in the MCU. I'm trying to think of who it is.
No,
in
the
MCU.
actress is not in the MCU. The character is in the MCU. Princess Mia is in the MCU. How do I know this? Because Stan Lee made a cameo in Princess Diaries 2, so it must be now MCU canon.
I get it. That's so funny.
All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. When we come back, Mary got attacked by autocorrect, and I can't wait for her to share this story.
Oh my God.
You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Good day everyone, Big Country here. Join Steve Moneyers myself as we discuss the team of the week, the MLB All-Star Game, the trade deadline, and who we think's got the drive, and who will run out of gas before the postseason. Join us each week here on Studio 21, the baseball podcast, as we discuss all the nicks and tricks of each team. Now, back to your future programming.
Hey everyone, it's Dane from Big Beautiful Diz. If you're not familiar with my channel already, I do videos about theme parks, historical videos, interviews with people from the theme park community or people that have worked in or with a theme park. I give my opinions, plus I review the latest Disney, Marvel, or Pixar movie. So head over to youtube.com/c/BigBeautifulDiz and hit that red subscribe button. I'll see you over there, everyone.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. As a reminder, please vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables, Best Local Podcast. That's vote.orlandoweekly.com. Now, before we started recording, Mary was telling me she got attacked by autocorrect today. So what happened, Mary? Talk to us.
It's so rough. It's so bad. And it wasn't bad, just the situation that there was a time lapse in between me knowing how bad the damage was of the autocorrect. So I am obviously in nursing school, and I am in this program where I'm doing a internship and a residency with Orlando Health. And so I had some interviews on Friday, and they both went really well. I have 2 units / departments that I'm interested in working in. They're interested in working with me. And so everything was really positive when I left, and I was super excited. And one of them texted me before I left and was like, we'll stay in contact. Like, here's my information. I'll text you and let you know what's going on our end as far as like when they reach out to you and give you your information. And I was like, cool, lit, perfect, love this. But still trying to be very professional because professional environment. So today he sent me a text this afternoon, and this is after the other department I was, working with was like, yep, you're about to get your offer, just like hang tight. And I was like, cool, thank you. And so now I almost feel like I have like a side chick because like there's like one I really like, but so this one is, the other one, and okay, just opened everything up. So you should be hearing from the recruiter to give you the information, in the next day or two. This gentleman's name is Connor, and I tried to say thank you so much, Connor, and autocorrect said thank you so much, Connie. We're not like that. I can't call him Connie.
Oh my God.
So I send it, and then I immediately want to vomit when I see what has happened to me. And I didn't even for a second know how I handle it. Do I pretend it didn't happen? Do I ostrich it? Do I just put my head in the sand? This didn't happen. You know what I did? I did the opposite. I said, autocorrect claims another soul. That's my only response. I didn't know what else to say to him. That's what I wrote. Autocorrect claims another soul. That's it. And so I was like, God, I hope he understands what I'm saying.
How long did it take for him to respond back?
32 minutes.
Oh,
32 minutes.
No.
32 minutes.
Oh, no. 32 minutes, Chris.
So I wasn't dying. Oh, my God.
For someone who has anxiety, that is
so I
forever. That's an eternity.
Chris, you'll understand this, but think of how productive you are when you're really, really anxious. Think of all the things you have to do to keep you busy. So we have this large dining room table that has different leaves that fold down, and a Lazy Susan that you can like remove from the middle. All of those nooks and crannies are cleaned because I just needed to keep my hands busy for a second. I just had to. It was rough. It was rough. He did respond back with a laughed at it. So I don't know if he's laughing at me as a human or as what happened, but I called him Connie. And so I'm looking forward to working in the other unit because I'm sure there's no way in hell. She can't even spell my name right. Why would we have her over here passing medications and taking care of humans? So it's fine. My life is totally okay, guys. Like, there's nothing wrong with me right now. I'm okay. I am okay. Thank you for asking. Fine. It's fine.
Chris, did you ever have an autocorrect moment like that?
Oh man, I'm trying to think if I ever had a real bad one.
Well, you work for yourself, so you can't really send it to a boss or anything like that.
Yeah, I think the worst thing I've ever done, this was in high school, so this is a long time ago, right? So, you know, when you're in a friend group in high school, there's always drama going on. So I remember that in the friend group, some guy was talking with a girl, and then one of the other friends started talking with that same girl. So I started talking about how messed up that was, right? And I took a screenshot of that, and I accidentally sent that into the group chat with everybody in it. So naturally, I had to double down.
Yeah, you just gotta be like, I stand for this.
I was like,
messed up.
I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was sending this to, you know, X person. And you're a piece of shit. Like, you shouldn't be doing that. Like, what else was I gonna do? There was no way to explain that. There was not one way out of that. I had to double down, and it was like as soon as I took the screenshot, I had to just type in all this stuff. Yeah, we're not friends anymore, but I don't think that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Was it something that they did in your dream? You really just made you real mad at him, and you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna...
But like, what do you do in a situation like that? Like, so Mary's situation, like, that's okay, autocorrect. But like, when you accidentally send a screenshot to a group chat with all of the people that that knows what's going on, some that didn't know what was going on, like what do? You have to double down. Like, you have to just confirm what you were doing. I didn't know what else to do. There's I'm a very good liar.
I'm a giant piece of shit, and
there was no way out of that.
Got myself caught in this web of...
There was no way out of that.
Got any other secrets you want to share with me?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was no way out of that one. Just had to be like, hey.
I just called this dude Connie. I feel a lot better right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's when everything, you know, all the small things in high school matter. So it's like everything matters. Like, that happens today. It's like, oh, I'll just block them and I'll never see them again. But in high school, it's like everything. You feel like everything's the end of the world and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Scott, have you ever been autocorrected?
Scott wishes he was autocorrected.
Nothing like really bad where it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I did this. But I have been in an argument with an ex and flirting with, you know, a potential new one at the same time on two different, you know, texts, and I've gotten the streams crossed and ended up.
You never want to cross the streams, Scott. You know that's a disaster. Yeah. Do not cross the streams.
Or like, you know, I'm talking to to someone else, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm texting the bitch on the other line or whatever, and accidentally send that to the ex.
Whatever, good for you.
I've done that.
You know what? You got what was coming to you. Then, you know,
I've definitely done that before.
It's messed up.
So Mary, we're gonna stay on you for a little bit. So you went to the grocery store and had another I guess kid correct where kids say the darndest things.
Kid correct. Grayson Reedy strikes again. God love him. He's the best kid. He's so funny. And he's so sweet and helpful. Our Publix recently got the self-checkout lanes, and he wants to do it. Like, he wants to scan everything and be a part of it. He also doesn't understand that you don't just get money out of it. Like, that's if you ask for money back or if you pay with cash and you get change back. He doesn't know that if you use a card or whatever, that's an end of transaction. He doesn't understand that concept. Last weekend, we ran by Publix to pick up things for Father's Day brunch, which, we got nice things because we were making a higher end brunch, I guess you would say. So we got nice things, and it wasn't a small tab because we bought a lot of things. And he doesn't understand the concept of money also. So he was like, "It's this much money," and he kept like yelling it, and that's also like really uncomfortable, And I think it wasn't like an outlandish amount. It was. I think the total was $186 and some odd cents, and he's like, "It's that many dollars!" Like just like kept yelling it. And I'm like, "Son, it's fine. We don't need to talk about this anymore, though. It's okay." But we had bought alcohol. Not we, I bought alcohol. Grayson just happened to be with me while we were there. And you can't check out unless the cashier or someone comes over. We at the No New Friends podcast
do not condone underage drinking or the sale to underage minors.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And so the cashier or guest service lady comes over to scan her ID and do whatever she has to do so that I can continue. Well, Grayson could not see what was happening. It impeded his view. And so he decided to say, why is your butt so big? I can't see anything that's happening. Like shouts it at this lady, and asks her why her butt is so big. And there's no way to play that off as a parent.
Oh my God.
There's no way to play that off. Like, I'm so sorry that my child just, like, I'm sorry. Like, what do you do? Do you just kick him and maybe he falls down and nobody knows? Like, what do you do? What do you do?
Just hope that he didn't hear that.
No, she heard it 100%. Because she watched us.
You gotta double down, like, "Ma'am, your ass is huge."
No, yeah, she was like, he was like, "Ma'am, could you please step to the side? We would like to see what's happening." And it was, if I could disappear, oh my God, I just wanted to please. Daddy Strange, come scoop me up, take me to another time. I don't want to be here right now. I don't want to do this anymore.
Dear God, make me a bird.
So I can fly far, far away. Oof, good God, I was Jenny at that time. Oof. I would rather be in Greenbow, Alabama, honestly, at that point, because it was real rough. Things were really rough for me in that moment. And I was just like, silly kid. I paid my money. We left.
Whose kid is this?
I have no idea.
Kid is this?
The best thing is, so as soon as we get home, Grayson promptly walks up to Mike Reedy and he's like, "You won't believe how much money we just spent at Publix." That's what he calls Publix. And I was like, first of all, we just talked about there was no reason to bring any of this up again. Why are we talking about it? So it's fine. All of this is okay. I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay with the things that's happened.
Thank God.
That's happened recently. And that's fine. Kid correct, autocorrect. Somebody help me. I don't know.
You're just having a rough go of it.
It was fine. It was fine. It's fine. I don't know, man. Anyways, on to you, Scott. Back to you, Scott, for something else.
Back to me.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Okay.
It's just, I'm embarrassed enough for myself, and then I just retold that to the universe. So great.
I know it's great, isn't it? Isn't being a content creator great? You just share your life with 75 billion people.
That's great.
Or
75
30,
billion.
but,
Yeah.
Or 7.2 billion, or just 30.
Or 30. Somewhere in between. I think there's a mean, right? There's a number.
There's got to be a mean somewhere.
You gotta divide by 2, multiply, cross, multiply. I don't know. Anyways, go ahead. Continue on. Sorry. I'm embarrassed enough already. Somebody hide me.
The worst thing about having COVID is I haven't been out and about this week, so I have literally zero content. So we're going to take a quick break, regroup, and Chris is going to save us in the last segment. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
lizard people, the moon landing, birds aren't real. Hi, this is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
Listen to Keeping the Tower with Aunt Boogie on SoundCloud, Anchor.fm, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. A new episode is dropped every first and third week of every month. Once again, Keeping the Towel with Aunt Boogie. Wipe the blood, wipe the sweat, wipe the tears. But whatever you do, don't throw in your towel.
Hi, this is comedian Miguel Colon, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Please, again, vote for us, Orlando Weekly. Best of Orlando competition, local notables, best local podcast. That's vote.orlandoweekly.com. And also, look, if you're looking to sponsor a podcast, okay, not only can you sponsor the No New Friends podcast, but I'm also now working for Diz His, okay? So send me an email if you're looking to sponsor a very, very successful email. It's DizHis65Scott at yahoo.com, I think is what the email address is. I just set it up. I don't remember. DizHis65Scott at yahoo.com. If you're looking to sponsor a Disney podcast, just, hit me up. Love to help you out.
I feel
because Diz His Scott was taken. Say Diz His 65 Scott.
Chris, you have no idea what all was taken. I tried to do.
Wait, so you're not on the show, but so you're doing their marketing now?
Yeah, I'm helping.
Is that your way to get in? Like you're gonna work from intern into like Steve the intern. Like he may be on.
Diz His has a very, very successful podcast, very successful, and I want to help them make money. I mean, here's the thing. I love podcasting. I love hosting. I love co-hosting, guesting. I love this world that we've found ourselves in. And what I love even more is like helping people with their podcast, whether it's, people who they're new to the sound equipment or how to upload things or, hey, should I switch from Zoom to Riverside? Like I have conversations with new podcasters all the time about what I think they should do and what we've done that's worked well, what we've done that hasn't, because I would have loved for someone to take us under their wings when we first started. Like when we first started our first couple episodes, I would have loved for someone to take us under their wings. So I try to do that. Not that I'm taking Diz His under my wings, but I want to help them make some money. They're in a position where they've got enough listeners that they can make some money. And like sometimes I don't know that I could do sales for our show because I'm so entrenched in the editing and the creating and the promoting. So Joe and Alex work really, really hard at the editing and Chris works really hard at the coming up with graphics and all that. So I was like, you know what, Joe, let me help you out. I can sell. Let me help you sell some commercials, some sponsorship. Let me help you make some money. So anyway, that's Diz His 65 Scott at yahoo.com. But all the other email addresses were taken. Like
couldn't have done like Diz His marketing at Gmail.
I tried sales or Diz His sales. Yeah, every variation of Diz His sales or Diz His 65 or underscore or dot or whatever was taken. The only thing that I could do was Diz His 65 Scott at yahoo.com. not just Diz His Scott. It was very, very frustrating. So anyway, if you're looking to put a commercial on a very successful podcast, Diz His 65 Scott at yahoo.com.
That's amazing.
So Chris,
I I don't even have words
Why not?
for this
What's
one
wrong?
at this point. Like,
what's
I
wrong?
nothing's wrong. Everything's
Well, you obviously have something to say about this. Let me understand what
I have nothing
you
to say
do
about
because
this.
you're making the I have no words comment, which means you have thoughts. What's wrong?
I don't. I'm just saying I have
Why?
no words.
I feel
I just said I have no words. Congratulations.
It's not a
I'm so proud
congratulations
of you.
moment. That's not what I'm looking for. What's the judgment? I don't understand what's going on right now. Why am I being? I'm feeling very, very judged.
I don't know. It's your choice, man. Just be happy that you have it.
We're not going to go that political route. But Mary, what is? I'm trying to understand the facial expressions that I'm getting from you right now when I said I'm trying to help Diz out and doing sales.
No, I'm really excited for you, man. If only you knew somebody who knew marketing that could mentor
Wow,
you.
wouldn't that be great? Because
really
I would
cool.
definitely tap into their expertise
so
for
great.
our podcast so that we could be in the same position that Diz is with all their success. Anyway, Chris, tell us about your Reddit story.
Well, I've been on Reddit lately because I'm going on my first cruise this weekend. So I started going on Carnival's subreddit. I guess that's what they're called. And man, there's some interesting people on there. And it's like I read what they have to say, and then I see that their sailing date's the same as mine, and now I'm like really, really not feeling good about going. There's like these people like, oh yeah, anybody want to share a room? I'm gonna be going alone this Saturday. I'm sailing off at this port. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is my port.
Share a room?
Like I feel strange going to the mall alone sometimes, and these people are booking cruises alone. So I can only imagine what's going on. Anyway, can't wait to meet these people. But anyway, so getting back on Reddit, I took a hiatus from Reddit because Reddit has scarred me, if you will. One of my first ever Reddit posts, and I can actually look it up because the internet never deletes anything. I'm on my page, and 3 years ago, here, look at the picture that I posted of my dog. Adorable, right?
Aw, yeah.
Right? It has a little sweater
in front of the
on.
Christmas tree.
Yep, very
super
festive.
Cute. Yeah.
So that was when I thought she was a poodle, because that's what I bought her as. I posted on the subreddit page Poodles.
Hold on. You thought it was a poodle.
But
it's not a poodle?
It's no. Oh no.
Oh,
Have you seen my dog? It's not a poodle. It's not a poodle. But don't worry, I had someone tell me that on this page. So I posted on the Poodles Reddit page with that adorable picture. First time puppy owner. This is Bailey, my miniature poodle. She is almost 8 weeks old. Any puppy tricks or tips for poodles? Right? So didn't ask for anyone's opinion, just asked for tips and tricks. I'm a first time dog owner. They should be happy for me. So rightfully so, someone's like, hey, get her brushed, especially around the belly areas and ears. Make sure you get their eyes clean. They get tear stains. Great advice. Somebody else puts, I don't know if it's just because I've had a lot of wine, but I'm in love with her and I'd do anything for her. Another really fun, sweet post. Then we have Inoffensive Tutu, who responds and says, poorly bred pup.
That's their
Inoffensive
name?
Tutu.
Very offensive, Tutu.
Poorly bred pup. Be prepared for vet expenses. I was like, whoa. I was like,
wow.
So then I'm first of all terrified now. I've been a puppy owner for like 2 days, and I get this post. So I responded. I said, poodles in general or my puppy? Please explain. Then she goes on to say, did you research the breeder? Did they do any health testing, or did you just pick him up from the store? This looks like a mixed breed puppy. Well-bred cream poodles have solid black noses. The ear set, face, feet, hair texture are all off. Yes, even for a puppy. Also, if you're going to keep the shirt on him, make sure you're combing and brushing every day, or else he will start to mat up. Like, oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. So, first of all, was right. It wasn't a purebred miniature poodle. It was not. She was right on that front.
What
We got her a
Bailey,
DNA
actually?
test, and she is a miniature poodle.
Of course you did. Of course you got her a DNA test.
Miniature poodle and terrier, and 25% alien.
1% lizard
right.
person.
So like 6'2",
Exactly,
8
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, she is. We got her and her brother. My sister got her brother. We got her. And when they were puppies, they looked exactly the same. And then as they started growing, he started getting the really long poodle legs, and ours just stayed the same size. So like, this thing is not a miniature poodle. So it turns out that like a grandparent down the line was a Jack Russell, and once in a while, because this dog has been bred a few times, once in a while there's a dog that looks like Bailey that comes out. So Bailey's like one of 3 out of the, over a dozen puppies that have been born from the same mother that look like she does. So we just call her a little alien dog. But I hate to say it, this woman was right. She's not purebred. We've had very high vet bills, but that's not because she's a purely bred miss. This is because she eats bees and she eats turkey grease and like
Just
listen,
out of spite,
this has
too,
nothing
out
to
of
do
spite.
with the offset ears and the leg size and the pink nose. No. But yeah, what an awesome thing to see, right? Like who wakes up and is like, I'm gonna go put down people's puppies,
Wreck
people's
dreams.
8-year-old puppies.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest Reddit to anybody who hates other people or who wants really good advice on things, because you can get both on the same platform, which is hard to do these days.
Well, I'm sorry that you got abused by a Karen on Reddit. Sorry for you.
Yeah, and offensive tutu. I should see what else she's posted on, because you can do that. So I'll have to see if she's posted on any.
We write it down. Let's follow her. I'm gonna troll her now,
maybe
man.
we should. So
I will find all of her flaws.
So I also want to try to find these. I want to find Blonde Mel 89, who posted that she will be going on the cruise alone this weekend.
Oh, wait a minute. This is for a different reason.
No,
I'm
curious. I am serious. This is my honeymoon. This is just no funny business. I am seriously. I would love to conduct an interview with her.
It sounds like if it's your honeymoon, it should be all funny business.
Right? Yeah. If there's no funny business, then
So that was the other thing. Like, listen, me and Emily, like, we like to. This is a big thing for us because we don't really go out a lot, especially the last couple of years, obviously, right? Because of that virus thing. So I see that on the Royal Caribbean, I'm looking for tips and tricks for first cruisers. So somebody puts going on my honeymoon. Any tips and tricks for honeymooners? Is there any packages or this and that? Every single comment was like, "Hey, make sure you close the blinds at the port." And they're like, "Hey, the whole cruise ship surveilled 24/7, so please just wait till you get to the bedroom." I'm like, well, I'm really like wasting my time looking up tips and tricks, reading all this nonsense on the and these people are dead serious too. Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of normal people on the cruise. I can't wait to see the crazy people. Or people that the gold card carriers.
Sir, keep your dick out of the clam chowder, okay? Like, what the hell?
Chris, just walk towards the center of the floor. The people who don't have the balconies. Then you'll meet the interesting people.
You know what? One thing is that we are not doing, just because I think it's the strangest thing ever, is the captain's dinner. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get
the Disney cruise has 5 captains.
Yeah, I've heard. You get dressed up in a suit and gown and you go have dinner with the captain. I think that's pretty weird. Is that just me, or is it just like imagine like on a plane, like it's an honor to meet you, Mr. Pilot. Would you like to have sit down and have
right? Well, the security risks alone. I mean,
can we share these peanuts and a soda?
Who's driving the ship? Who's driving the ship when he's eating dinner with us?
Yeah. Apparently, the captain of the Titanic was at the captain's dinner.
Sir, get your dick out of the chowder.
So, needless to say, I will be bringing my GoPro, and I will be documenting. I will be documenting these obscurities that happen.
God.
This ship has the most bars on any cruise ship, so I'm really excited to see what crowd that attracts.
That's exciting.
I'm thinking Blonde Mel 89 might be.
It sounds like Blonde Mel. I have the name written down over here. Just in case.
Yeah, I just think it's weird. She's like, she makes a post. She's like, how do we find other lonely people that sail so we can split rooms and stuff? I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's
go to the beach.
That sounds how you end up on a unsolved mystery.
I don't feel bad
That's
anymore.
how you end up on a crime documentary. Which actually, take your time, Blonde Mel. This sounds like a good idea. I love these shows. Yes, please.
Can we have? Yeah, Chris, I need you to find Blind Mel 89 so that we can have her on the podcast.
I kid you not. She's going on my cruise.
Fantastic.
She's going.
Yeah, find her.
Interview her. I know it's all about, your and Emily's love and honeymoon, blah, blah, blah. But I need content. Get an interview with Summer Blonde 89.
This is
from Reddit.
Not about our honeymoon anymore. This is about finding people and interviewing them of why they go on cruise ships alone. I feel like that could be a podcast in and of itself.
Yeah. Ryan says no unboxing videos on your honeymoon.
I thought about buying a bunch of Pokemon cards so I could bring them just so I could I
don't think that's the box he was talking about. I don't know. I don't.
Oh.
So listen,
Patreon only chat.
A real quick shameless plug for our Patreon. You've got to join our Goof Troop. Our Goof Troop. What's wrong with me? You got to join.
Wow. You know what? At this point, why do we have our own podcast? You know what? I think that we're just going to go ahead and say goodbye. Because at this point, I'm the only outlier, right? Like, I think that I'm the only one that is not a member of your podcast that is his, that's fine. Just combine powers. It's okay. You know what, Joe? You can have our 23 followers. All right,
be nice. It's more than that, Mary.
Okay, 32.
Stop it. Be
all right,
nice.
I have dyslexia.
It's a lot more than that.
I'm kidding.
So listen.
I'm kidding, but you just told people to follow our Goof Troop, and we don't even have that.
Well, join our clubhouse.
Get your dick out of the chowder, Scott. Good God, like I don't
join our clubhouse.
I don't even
and become a friend with benefits.
I am all done.
So Chris came on with a migraine and is wearing one of these migraine strips. Okay, to help with his migraine. Joe from DizHiz, who is a Patreon member, a member of our clubhouse, is watching this episode and as like a piece of
is it a clubhouse?
Is that a maxi pad that you've got on your forehead? Like trying to make fun of Chris. He's got a maxi pad on his forehead.
We make fun of disabilities here on this podcast now, I guess.
All right.
Wait, you once again called it a Goof Troop. That's what you just said. You said it's our clubhouse.
I said clubhouse.
We don't have a clubhouse.
We do. Mary, go to our website. It has always been called
Friends with Benefits.
Right, but it's also the clubhouse. Anyway, Chris, you got
you
got Chris's Cliff Notes?
Yeah, I do have a few. It wasn't a lot to take notes on tonight because it's very distracting, but I do have a few. So I did notice that Scott started taking up yoga. He didn't come out and outright tell anyone, but blaming the Supreme Court on Rachel not wanting to sleep with you was quite the impressive stretch. So,
wow, it is. Thank you for noticing.
Mary started talking about.
You should probably give him one of those icy hot patches because he's going to be sore in the morning.
Mary started talking about self-checkouts being introduced at Publix. Welcome to my life now. I love self-checkout machines, and I'm starting to go down a very, very dangerous path now. First, it started as ringing up organic bananas as regular bananas, because no one ever checks that. Then things took a very drastic turn. Today, I put printer ink on the digital scale and paid for it as grapes. No one checks. No one checks. Whole Foods even gives you a nickel for every bag that you use. You enter how many bags you use when you go to Whole Foods. It asks you how many bags you use that was yours. So if anyone was wondering how to get a free pound of meat at Whole Foods, that's 312 bags used. And they can't assume the quantity of your bags. That's super insensitive. Lastly, Scott said the worst thing about having COVID is not having content. I would have said dying, but I guess being bored is pretty bad too. So.
Thank you, Chris.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark,
Hey, it's Alex from DizHiz. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of DizHiz, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Joe swinging by real quick. Joe, what do you got going on this week on DizHiz?
So this week, Jen and we just got back from a 7-day cruise on the Fantasy. So we're going to spend a lot of the episode talking about our cruise, our experiences together. And also, Alex has a game show for us it's like a surprise game show. So we're going to go ahead and play a game with the crew.
Very
That's
cool.
what we got going on. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
You can connect with DizHiz65 on all social media. Check out their website, DizHiz.com. If you're looking to put a commercial, DizHiz65Scott at yahoo.com. If you'd like to connect with us, NoNewFriendsPodcast.com. You can become a Clubhouse member, a friend with benefits, one of our Patreon members. Check out our sweet merchandise, and please vote for us for Orlando Weekly's Best of Orlando competition under the category Local Notables Best Local Podcast. That's vote.orlandoweekly.com. On behalf of Mary and Chris, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.